10 billionaires who lost billions. Number 1. Icelandic billionaire has a net worth of 0. Once the second richest man in Iceland, billionaire Björgólfur Gulmundsson filed for bankruptcy in 2009. The brewer turned billionaire made his fortune as a shareholder in Landsbanki, Iceland's second largest bank, and owner of the West Ham Soccer Club. In debt to the tune of $1.4 billion, his fortunes faltered after the almost total collapse of the Icelandic banking system a year earlier, bringing his net worth to 0. Number 2. Alan Stanford's descent from billionaire to inmate. With a fleet of jets, a collection of yachts, and his own professional cricket team, Texas-born billionaire Alan Stanford exuded wealth. At his peak, he was listed as one of the richest men in America on the Forbes 400, with an estimated worth of $2.2 billion. In 2009, Stanford was convicted of offering fraudulent high-interest certificates of deposit from his offshore bank in Antigua and using client funds to feed his lavish lifestyle. More than 20,000 investors have yet to see a return on their money. Stanford is serving a term of 110 years for his role in the $7 billion international Ponzi scheme. Number 3. Billionaire Sean Quinn loses everything in Ireland's property bust. In 2008, Sean Quinn was known as Ireland's richest man with a net worth of $6 billion. Quinn sunk a good part of his personal fortune in the Anglo-Irish Bank, an aggressive lender to Ireland's construction barons. Within just a few months of Quinn's investment, the bank suffered massive losses as the country's property bubble finally burst, leaving the family with less than $15,000 in cash and 3 bank accounts. Number 4. Japanese businessman Masayoshi Son lost the largest personal fortune in history. Masayoshi Son lost a whopping $70 billion of his net worth, but remains the second richest person in Japan. In 1981, Son, dubbed the Bill Gates of Japan, started SoftBank, which became Japan's largest telecommunications and internet corporation. During the dot-com boom, SoftBank was valued at $180 billion, and Son's net worth was $78 billion. During the internet crash of 2004, SoftBank's stock went down 98%, and Son lost the largest amount of money ever by an individual in history. Number 5. The world's 8th richest man loses billions after oil fields come up dry. Brazilian-born Ike Batista was once the world's 8th richest man. He would often boast that one day he would be the richest person on the planet. Instead, he lost most of his fortune, $33 billion in 16 months, when OGX, the oil exploration company he controlled, went bankrupt. Number 6. One of the 5 richest men in the world loses $40 million in tech bust. Yoshimizu Shigeta, founder of the mobile telecom company Hikari Shushin, is a former high flyer who was one of the richest men in the world. His worth soared to the tune of $42 billion during Japan's IT bubble. During a period of market volatility in the early 2000s, it was not unusual for Shigeta's fortune to fluctuate by $5 billion in a single day. Number 7. Bill Gates loses his title as the world's richest man after giving billions to charity. Bill Gates, founder of Microsoft, lost his title as the world's richest man in 2010 by giving billions to his charitable foundation. Gates and his wife have given away over $28 billion to various philanthropic causes, including a third of his wealth to the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, which focuses on U.S. education and global health and development. While his current fortune is estimated to be around $67 billion, Gates says, "Money has no utility to me beyond a certain point. Its utility is entirely in building an organization and getting the resources out to the poorest in the world." Number 8. Former billionaire asked to attend opera while on house arrest. Alberto Villar lost the majority of his billions when the tech bubble burst in 2001. However, to make matters worse, the investor and philanthropist was tried and convicted of bilking his investment clients out of several $1,000,000. Number 9. Founder of IKEA willingly loses $17 billion. IKEA founder Ingvar Kamprad is known as an extremely frugal eccentric. He drives a 20-year-old Volvo, recycles tea bags, and furnishes his modest home with IKEA furniture, which he puts together himself. Kampard's net worth is rumored to be $23 billion, but that was reduced significantly in 2010, when he willingly relinquished $17 billion after his lawyers proved that most of his money actually belonged to his foundation, which also owns IKEA, and was not part of his personal wealth. Number 10. Estranged Indian brothers lose billions from rupee crash. In the 10 years after their father's death, billionaires Anil and Mukesh waged war against each other. Mukesh, the richest man in India, owns telecommunications giant Reliance Industries. His brother Anil owns Reliance Communications, which boasts over 150 million cell phone subscribers, millions of miles of fiber optic cable, and tens of thousands of cell phone towers. In 2013, the brothers took steps to merge the two companies and thaw relations between them. Within minutes of that announcement, stock in the two companies immediately rose, but it still wasn't enough to save them from losing billions during the recent rupee crash in May 2013. Mukesh lost $5.6 billion of his personal wealth within 4 months. His brother Anil lost $1.3 billion during the same period. As the rupee stabilizes for the time being,